Hi.
Hi.
What kind of future do you see? And the next part of this question is, do you see a future where there is humans in technology integrated in humans, or humans and technology living together?
Well, that's a great question, and obviously a tricky one, because I think both options are feasible. I would say that the option where we integrate with technologies is a better one for us, definitely a safer one, because this means that we benefit most from that technology. In a situation where, for instance, artificial intelligence, which is my field, develops more and more, and people are less and less capable of understanding it and grasping it, this is a scenario that is potentially a dangerous one. It could be based on exploitation. It could generate tremendous changes and also, like, I would say, very big division. So there will be a group of people who is aligned with technology, and there is a group that is completely out, right? Which creates possibly a very dystopian, unfortunate scenario. So I would say that the option where we even make a stop now, or like make a step backwards and just rethink how we want this technological progress to unfold and how to benefit from it most, is the better version than just accelerating technology and leaving humans behind.
Okay, isn't that what's happening right now? So, because during your presentations, you said that, for example, chatbots are developing really, really fast, or maybe a lot of chatbots are developing lately. But a lot of marketers don't actually pay attention to the human when it comes to chatbots. So my question is, what should marketers pay attention to when it comes to developing technology and using it?
Well, I think engineers, marketers, UX specialists, they all really have to put humans at the center still. You know, we are the ones who technologies are designed for and not the other way around. So I would say we definitely noticed in our research that the deployment of various technologies does not take the human on board. And I think that in the future, particularly when it comes to chatbots, we have to focus on such a design that makes people feel safe. And one example of that would be when you look at various chatbots, when you have a telemarketing chatbot, for instance, it very often does not state that it's a chatbot. Instead, it pretends to be a human. And I think it generates a lot of confusion. So I would really, for the future, I would focus on marking them. I would say, listen, let's make transparency. Let's create a transparent situation in which people know that they're talking to a chatbot. If it's a good chatbot, they will talk to it. But don't create a situation in which people are confused and they have to guess, am I talking to a human or a machine? I can't really recognize, and I don't know what kind of stuff I should say, whether I will be understood, and so on. So even on that very basic level, I think striving for perfection in chatbots and omitting the human is not the good way to follow. Yeah.
Okay. Should marketers pay more attention to mine data? How can they use it? Maybe like.
Well, I think, you know, there was a wave of neuromarketing like 10 years ago. When I was still a student, I remember some people were very hyped and excited about it. And then it turned out that many of these research projects that would include neuromarketing were not good, and they were failing because the fact that something lights or shines in your head, that, I don't know, a certain neuroimaging technique shows you something, doesn't mean that you really know what kind of emotion that is. And obviously, you know, many of these devices have improved greatly, and I do see a lot of new, I would say, applications of neuromarketing or affective computing in the field. But I would be very cautious with that because, first of all, it's very sensitive data. And second of all, if it's not properly cleaned and stored and also worked with, it can be very misleading. And actually, it can generate counterproductive results. So I would say yes, marketers and everyone should pay attention to affective data, and I'm sure there will be more of that data, but they should also learn how to treat it ethically, first of all, and second of all, how to work with it, for instance, using machine learning technologies, you know, which means, you know, sole marketing is not enough. You have to gain some data science skills.
Or what kind of technology will we accept in the future? Is it the technology that's more like us? Or is it the technology that we can recognize that it's, you know what I'm asking?
Yeah, I think I know where you're getting. So Elon Musk quite recently had this very interesting initiative of beneficial or safe artificial intelligence, where he was clearly opposing the idea of creating more human-like technologies, and in particular AI, not only when it comes to architecture of the system, how it's built, and also aesthetically how it looks like, but also in terms of moral values and so on. He doesn't want technology to be more human-like. He wants it to be narrowly specialized and just defined as technology and nothing more. Obviously, there are some other people. So Sophia is coming to Poland soon. It's a humanoid robot, and many people are excited about it, and many people want to see technologies like that in the future. So there will be a struggle, and I'm not really sure which division, which group will win, all right, in this whole thing. I would say that I'm closer with the view that Elon Musk expressed, in the sense that I would like technology to be very good at what it does, very helpful, sustainable, and also helping humans in solving tasks, but at the same time, clearly defined. Because the humanoid thing generates so many emotions, and I think it's very hard for people, really. On one hand, they see something that looks like a human, on the other, well, it's not, and it generates so much confusion. So I would say if we can build systems that are easy to define and still perfect at what they're doing, that's great. But I'm quite sure that the humanoid projects will still remain, and some people will be very tempted to use them. All right.
Okay, so the humanoid projects will remain?
In sex robotics, for instance, they will remain.
For example,
that's a huge field.
Okay, so the question is, in 20 years, do you see humanoids or robots or technology as an assistant to the human, or as a co-living, like something that shares the planet with us, or maybe a slave?
In 20 years, I think technology will still be assistive, because I don't believe that in 20 years everything will change. I know that there are some futurists that claim that everything will change, singularity and all that stuff, general artificial intelligence. I don't buy it. I think it's going to take much, much longer. So in 20 years, I think we'll have a lot of assistive technology. I hope we will not have slaves, because I think it will be very, very bad. I mean, I see the way people treat technologies also shows who they are and what values they have. I would never tell my daughter to be unpolite or not nice to Alexa. I would say whatever it is, just try to treat it in a polite manner, because that's how it will also respond to you in the future. So no slaves, hopefully, no humanoids really, and no partners yet. But assistive technology. Yeah,
okay.
That's my bet.
That's a good vision.
I hope
Let's
so.
end with that. Thank you very much.
Thank you.